Hey friends, and happy 4th of July. You all, I hope you're getting to enjoy this holiday with family and friends. And we're going to go ahead and close out the month of June. I'm going to try not to be all over the place, you all, because when I'm closing out the month, I'm thinking about a million things about the budget and the next month and so on. And so I'm going to try to keep it organized so it doesn't come across like that on the video. So let's start. I'm going to go ahead and put the goals that I had for the month up on the screen first. And I only had 3. So my focus was to start saving for back to school, to stay within our new grocery budget. And so we've been doing the grocery wars. And then I wanted to finish one finance book. And so that is what we were focused on for this month. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to our breakdown for the second half of the month. And we're going to go from there. So how are you all celebrating today? Are we getting together with family and friends? Are you staying home? Are you going to the fireworks? We usually try to find us a little spot so we're not completely locked in the crowd so that we can enjoy and then get out of there before we get stuck in traffic. For the last half of the month, and even as my reminder, I was like, stay on budget. But we had Father's Day as an upcoming expense, and we had Juneteenth. So those were the only things I had written there. Now, we had planned for a total income of $1,550 for the last half of the month, and we actually brought in $1,595.95. Now, there's a reason for that. I will talk about that here in just a minute. Let's go ahead and start. So we had a rollover of $98.87 from the first half of the month. And remember, part of that was because we didn't spend up all of our money for what we budgeted for variable expenses. So that means total income to start this half of the month was $1,694.82. Now, bill-wise, was the typical. We had the same few bills. The only thing that was different, and the reason our income was more, is because of my KEA dues, or my Education Association fee. So this is a bill that is usually taken out pre-tax before I am paid, but we had some changes here in our state, and they decided that teachers will now pay this on their own, and so we had to set that up, and so those payments started this month. And so now my KEA dues will come out of my check like a regular bill. They're always doing something. That's what I'm going to say about that. There's always something extra. So that actually means that my checks will be lower because now I'll be paying those dues and they won't be pre-tax anymore. So yeah, always something. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. And so, but that is the bill that's down here at the bottom, and it's not up here because honestly, I just wasn't thinking about that when I set up the month, and then I was like, oh no, it's June, and I have to start paying those fees. So, but everything else was the same. So, you know, our loans, we didn't end up putting anything aside for student loans, because we had some other stuff with expenses since my husband went in the hospital, and I'll talk about that because we had some extra expenses, so then I wasn't able to pull that money. But other than that, everything else was the typical. So total expenses was $1,556.36 for the second half of the month. That left us with $138.46, of which $78 went into savings. And then that $60.46 we actually ended up spending while we were at my parents' doing Father's Day, because we had some things that we had to get grocery wise, and while we were cooking down there. You all, I need to start a family time fund because there's always extra when we're doing things like that. So yeah, so that's how our expenses went. Now, as far as variable expenses, notice we went over by $109.56, and that is because of gas. So the only money that we add to variable expenses the second half of the month is for groceries. And so we added our $300, $150, which I took care of for the first week of groceries, and then $150 for my husband. But we went over on gas by $120 from driving to extra appointments, because after he got out of the hospital, then he had some follow-ups, and then we actually had to meet with the surgeon who will be doing his transplant. So So I wasn't planning for that. So we actually went way over on gas this month. We spent a total of like $220 between driving back and forth to the hospital and to my parents and so on. So way outside of what we planned for. But sometimes, you know, sometimes things can't be avoided. You all know that. And so, but that's where we are there. So then let's go ahead and look at the month as a whole. So we had a planned income of $4,568, and we actually brought in $4,640.95, which is $72 more than we planned for. And you all, that'll probably be the last one that has extra, because I think that check finished off any monies that I was owed for doing Saturday schools and all that stuff. So I'm back to just the normal checks now. Total expenses, including what we spent for Father's Day, came to $4,449.95. And then we added a total of $191 to savings. So when we do that math, that brings us to 0, which is what we are looking for. And so, yeah, so we didn't go over for the month. Like, we were able to take care of everything, but we had categories where we went over. So, yeah. But very, to me, very successful month expense-wise for June, considering all the holidays and birthdays and our anniversary and all that stuff. So, honestly, I was pretty happy with that. Now, as far as our goals, I did start adding to, or I did start our back to school savings. Let's see, what was our second one? Oh, we did stay within our grocery budget, which is a win. And finally, the finance book. So you all, I'm not gonna lie, we've been having fun doing things and spending family time, and I just did not read that book. I did not finish reading it. So I am going to be more intentional and work on that and get that done, because I also have another one that I want to read that Debt Free Jessie suggested, and she's been doing this CD ladder, and so I have really been excited and into that, because I'm thinking that, you know, one of my goals for the year was to invest, and I start investing. I'm thinking I might actually join in on that before the year is up and complete that challenge. All right, so that is it for our month of June. So all in all, I really feel like it was successful. You all, let me know how you did for the month of June. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and make sure you comment down below. And I guess I'll see you all next time.